Hey, hey. Got a red streak on my forehead from wearing a sun hat. Um, it's not brain surgery or anything. Um, yeah, I just had an energy session with Lisa. She's so sweet and, easy to spend time with and so kind. She talks about me as if I am, you know, I don't know what exactly is she's talking about that's strong and powerful because we're all equal in the eyes of the creator and we're all characters anyway, whether it's one soul incarnation or a soul that jumps between incarnations. But anyway, she says, I am powerful and strong. And of course, part of me says, well, she tells that to everyone. She tells people what they want to hear, or she tells people what they need to hear. Um, so I remain agnostic about whether I am strong and powerful, but makes it a little bit easier not to assume I'm weak and, I don't know, cowardly. But there's been a real heaviness on my heart, especially lately. That just makes me want to isolate, watch Only Murders in the Building or Orville. Um, and otherwise, just kind of try to feel whatever wants to be felt. Occasionally inquire into it. But I get a little bit weary of inquiring into the stories of the small self. I mean, I guess the small self, it's part of everything. It deserves dignity, deserves compassion. But I don't know where the compassion is supposed to come from. It's kind of a catch-22. My heart makes it difficult to feel compassion. And my heart needs compassion. So where's the compassion supposed to come from? I mean, the small self can go through the motions of compassion, but ultimate compassion comes from the ultimate, right? But I can give it attention. I can give it attention, and I can give it attention without judgment. Maybe that's what compassion really is. Not trying to fix it, not trying to change it, not trying to interfere. Just attention without judgment. She said I've left the vibrational frequency of being a child finally, hooked up to my parents and my childhood in general. And I do feel that lately. I mean, there might be some remnants here and there, but generally speaking, it's like that doesn't feel like it defines me anymore. It doesn't feel like um, it's not as interesting. It's not as juicy. It's not as sort of crying out. But as Lisa said, the easy stuff goes first, and when you're more advanced, what's left is the hard stuff. And she said she disengaged a lot of hard stuff. Sorry, I just zoned out a little bit. I don't know what disengaged a lot of hard stuff means. She helped some energies move. She said some last ties were cut with the childhood thing. My memory is so bad with these things. That's part of why I make videos, because it all seems like a dream pretty quickly and then fades like a dream pretty quickly. As in, like, you don't need to hang on to this. It's done. Go to the next thing. That's the overall sense. But of course, if I don't pay attention to where I've been, I might end up retreading or losing certain insights, or losing track or losing sight of certain insights. And after the session, I just did what I've been trying to do lately, which is whatever I feel like, which has, not necessarily seemed super spiritual lately. But Lisa said that in the, when she got into the energy body, she said she could tell that whatever I'm doing, it's exactly what I need to be doing, which, again, convenient. Maybe she says that to everyone. Maybe she says it because she thinks people need to hear it. But, why? I'm probably not going to really know either way. And trying not to be suspicious or assuming the worst of people, especially she seems like a very kind and honest person. She said, my soul character, which, maybe a soul has been incarnated several times. It's still a character, kind of a meta character, maybe. And maybe that's what left my body when I was on a double dose of ayahuasca. She said it sounds like I was on the astral plane. And sometimes when the body's processing some really heavy duty stuff, the soul leaves the body, so the body's not resisting. And I told her, even though I roared all night long, I wasn't tired the next day, and I wasn't, my throat wasn't hoarse or sore or anything. So, but yeah, she said, she gave me this third session for free. She said, because the previous session felt more like a kind of a generalized session, kind of an ancestry, matrilineal kind of feminine burden session, or female human burden session. And this one was more, she could see me, my true self. And I still feel the pull of this doubt of myself. Pardon me. Maybe I'm allergic to doubt now. But I could feel I could feel, yeah, I can feel the old doubt of just like, the usual. It's safer to doubt yourself. It's safer to assume the worst. Blah, blah, but it's getting tiresome. It's getting less convincing. It's feeling less alive, less compelling. Even if I go way out on a limb and I'm some kind of idiot somehow or bore in both senses, BORE and BOOR. At this point, I don't care. I don't care that much. Uh, I'm a relatively smart, discerning person, and you know, I can read cues reasonably well. And if it's just like, she's weird, or oh, she's always late, or oh, her haircut's terrible, like I really could not possibly care. But if I'm genuinely like stepping on toes and being an asshole, then you know, I can do my best not to do that. But it happens, even in the purest process possible. You can piss people off, or you can, be kind of a jerk. Of course, you can piss people off and be kind of a jerk when you're not in any kind of process. You're just kind of a jerk who pisses people off. But I don't know. I'm doing the best I can, and I'm gonna have to call that good enough. I'm getting ready. I'm close to being able to fully call that good enough. Because I doubt it's just I'm just tired of it. So she said that well, anyway, I went on a walk after the session. Such a beautiful fall day. Oh my god, it's like 72 degrees. Amazing blue sky contrasted with like pine tree, pine needles and maple leaves and ducks and turtles in the pond, the neighborhood pond. I really felt no desire to, go anywhere more exotic than my own little suburban neighborhood. It's more than enough. Um, it's too much, actually. It's like I couldn't. It's like, how do I take this all in? How do I take a fraction of this in? I guess you don't have to take anything anywhere. I guess it's just happening, but my heart feels like it's going to burst from. I guess there's a feeling of responsibility to absorb as much as I can if I'm a representative of the infinite in a unique point in time, in a unique place, in a unique state of mind, state of growth, state of awakeness. You see a butterfly pass by, and you're like, hello, fellow shred of consciousness, wirelessly flapping around this balmy blue sky. I was thinking about something during the session. How kind of letting go into this moment and kind of what I think I know about this moment oh, I know about how the planet was formed, and I know about how elements are formed, and I know about how, anthropology and biology and manufacturing, I mean, all this kind of all the ways you can split all of this up. But, come down to it, I don't have a clue. Like, not a not a wisp of a clue. I mean, you can call it electrons, you can call it a nebula, you can call it a bed sheet, you can call it capitalism, you can call it depression, you can call it a specific kind of tree, specific kind of bird. But, one of the mystics said the last time anyone ever saw, the last time a child sees a bird is when they learn its name. They don't see the bird anymore. They see a representation of the bird. Um, like, oh, that's a copy of that other robin I've seen before. Oh, yeah, that's a blue jay. I know what a blue jay is. And it just, I like blue jays. But it's too much. How can you appreciate everything on its own terms? Uh, As individuals, apparently, and as a part of a whole fabric that's so vast. I mean, I guess we aren't meant to take it in all at once, generally speaking, because you can't function on the relative sense. I wonder how many people in mental asylums are just sort of expanded all through the universe. Having the best time of anyone in the whole world. So we have our little neighborhoods. Of experience. And some people can touch into the astral plane or auras or God knows what. I mean, we live in a universe that is so vastly mysterious. You don't want to just believe everything you hear, but there's certainly more going on than what the limited American mind, generally speaking, is observing, is experiencing. And you kind of dare not speak it out loud, generally speaking, because it's like they did that in the 60s and they all got jobs, which is a fair point. I mean, man can't live on mushrooms alone. But you don't need to throw the baby out with the bathwater, you know? They had something, I read the electric Kool-Aid acid test. They had something, but, they had nothing to latch it to. It was just kind of freestanding, and eventually it collapsed. I don't know what the answer is, or if there's an answer. Maybe it's just this existence is living questions. But it seems like spiritual people these days who are not just, not just taking drugs. Many of them don't take drugs at all. It's but exploring this spiritual, or you don't have to call it spiritual, just experiential strangeness that's not just confined by upstanding Western sensibilities. Now it's people who have jobs, people who have some stability already, and they're building on that instead of trying to replace one with the other. And, it is possible to live with relative integrity and to have relative stability and work on these things. And so you're not coming at it from a fuck the man, we're gonna get in a bus and go across the country and never look back. That has its place, that's fine. But it's not sustainable on a large scale. Kind of working from within the system, not necessarily the worst of it, but even some people who was on the ayahuasca retreat with us, one of them works for a weapons company, right? Or at least he works for the military construction, something like that. Makes, aircraft carriers or God knows what. Nah, I don't think he's going to lead a revolution from inside there, but, little by little, things can change. Things do change. Things have changed. And maybe the change isn't the point. Maybe change is a byproduct of the point, which the point is awakening. The point is making it through several lifetimes, learning things, taking on rogue energies. These ego energies, Angela says some of them are ancient. Where did those energies come from? My neck's starting to betray my age a little bit. That's okay. think I'm really glad I think awakening helps with not stressing so much about aging. Although, I already wasn't that bothered with beauty standards and all that kind of stuff. I don't plan on getting surgery or Botox or anything like that. I mean, I'm lucky. I look pretty young for 44, but anyway, my neck distracted me. Sorry. Looks like a Star Trek prosthetic. It's got that kind of bendy quality. Anyway, crinkly, I guess is the word. Um, but yeah, she said she senses that I'm coming into my power, whatever that means. I guess there's a sense that at some point I can walk forward confidently. Not necessarily like I know what's going to happen or like I'm the best or like I'm better than anybody else. But just I'm not worse. I'm not a dumb kid. Maybe we're all dumb kids in a sense, but I'm not any dumber than anyone else either. I can just be whatever the hell I am. And that's okay because the other thing's getting stale. It's just getting stale. So I get this strong feeling in my chest area, chest, throat, when I see things like that. It's like you can't just boldly march into life when you don't know what you're doing or when you've screwed up before. But yeah, I can. I can do the next thing. I can put one foot in front of the other. I can be here now. I can feel like, I'm not doing this for anyone else. There's not some parent breathing down my neck. I'm not a victim. I'm not trying to be a good girl. I'm not oppressed. I just have some interesting opportunities to feel, experience. Yeah, there's some FOMO, as somebody said on one of Angela's videos. They were talking about pretty out there stuff like out of body experiences and um, kind of like severely altered states, like as if almost like you're in another universe. And there's a part of me that contracts around, why don't I have that? Why can't I do that? am I going to do that? But it's truly not a competition. Truly, nobody gets all of it. And, being satisfied with your lot is not the same as giving up or feeling like the kid who's picked last or left out. It's possible to be satisfied with less than, I don't know, perfection, double straight A, top of the heap, whatever your ego thinks you need in order to be worthy, not just worthy, but the best. Why do you need to be the best? You need to be the best so nobody can ever touch you again. And you show all of them. Right? Yeah, I don't need that. So yeah, I got a month ahead of me of integrating this, watching it kind of shake out, and see what happens then. Moment by moment, that's what we've got for realsies. So trying to stay present with whatever's here. Just meet it.